Hey everybody, my name is Bob Knowles with National Association of Homeowners, and we brought you today into a brand new neighborhood, all brand new homes you see around you. You can see a house that's under construction in the background, still building here. This particular house that I'm standing next to is just about 1 year old, and we're going to walk around it and take a peek at a lot of the issues, construction issues that we're finding on this particular house. So come on, join me. Okay, what I normally do when I'm looking at exterior walls for bows, waviness in the walls, to see whether they're out of tolerance or intolerance, is I'll stand here at the side of the wall and look down the plane of the wall. And then if I see waves, these waves in the wall, and we've added a few pieces of blue tape down here where the wavy parts are. And then I come down to check where it looks like there's a hump in the wall, and you see that this is my half-inch thick fingers showing you that there's big humps in the wall here. Wow, this is probably 3/4 of an inch. So the typical allowable tolerance for a bowed wall is 1/4 of an inch, not a half inch, not 3/4 of an inch, in any 32-inch measurement. So this is a 4-foot level. I measure the wall. A couple different ways you can do it, but the way that South Carolina residential construction standard reads is that the allowable tolerance for wall bows is 1/4 inch in any 32-inch measurement. And this clearly exceeds that 1/4 inch. It's more than double what they're allowed to have for out of plane walls. So this needs to be fixed. Thank you. Here's another issue I just noticed. These outside hose faucet bibs, hose bibs, the handle is painted and the paint job is defective. You can see the rust inside here all the way around. This is a 1-year-old house, not even 1 year old. And the fact that the materials selected are so cheap that they're rusting out in the first year. How's this going to look in 5 years? How's this going to look in 10 years, 20 years? If you've ever had one of these handles break and crack and crumble due to corrosion on you, it's a pain in the butt to have to replace and deal with. So we shouldn't have to. The code requires us to use materials that are non-corrosive outdoors. This needs to be fixed. Hey, over here. Let me show you something up here on the roof. Now, this is a brand new house, and we happen to be in a development that is considered 55 plus community. It's for retired people mostly. Homeowners buy here and they live here and everything's great. They don't even have to mow the lawn because the development, the community, pays for lawn care and maintenance around the house. But let's look up on the roof here. Can you see that small black device? Small black, it's an exhaust vent up on the roof. It's kind of flat, black square. That is the dryer exhaust vent, which, okay, it's up on the roof. The hot air goes out, gets out of the house and goes up, no problem. But those things get clogged up with lint frequently. There's a flap on them. If the flap doesn't close all the way, then birds, bees, wasps can enter, and cold air, hot air can enter and go down and get inside your dryer. So that flap needs to close. If it clogs up with lint, then it's a problem. So what we need to do is, as a part of normal homeowner maintenance, clean out that flap and clean out the exhaust vent. However, we're in a 55 plus community. Somebody has got to set up a ladder, go up the roof, and get to that vent. He's got to clean out the lint maybe once a year. Depends on how frequently you use your dryer. So, is that a good idea? It's not a code violation. I mean, make sure you're clear on that. Code doesn't say you can't put a dryer vent up on a roof in any community, let alone one that is designed for retired people. So, it's just a bad idea. Please, I hope everybody understands that. That's just dumb. Why would you do that? You're forcing a 7-year-old gentleman or his wife to climb up on a ladder, walk across the roof, clean out a vent once a year. Potential for fall, injury, etc. It's all over there. So for the safety, the health and safety of homeowners, we need to make it a code requirement that dryer vents can go anywhere in the house except up on the roof. Guess where the dryer is in this house? It's on the first floor. So they could easily put a hole in the wall and bring the dryer vent out at about waist high. You know, it could be right here. It doesn't have to be way up there on the roof. It's quicker and easier for the builder apparently to do that, but it's not quicker and easier for us, the homeowners, who have to live and maintain this house for years to come. So just want everyone to be aware of that. Please voice your objections to your builder that, hey, I don't want my dryer up there on the roof. I want it down below. Maybe they might listen to us. If not, you're joining NAHO. Please enter into some of the polls and the voting opportunities that we have. That's going to be one of them. We want to vote for making it a code requirement that dryer vents cannot be up on the roof. That's a problem. Here's another really common deficiency that we see around brand new homes. You got an air conditioner condenser unit, the outside portion of a split system. And this unit is powered by electricity. It's got a box, electrical disconnect box here that's bringing electrical power to the unit. All electrical equipment has a certain amount of power it can take, measured in amperage or current. So on the label, to make sure we're getting the right amount of current, not too much, not too little, there's a label that says minimum circuit ampacity and the maximum fuse breaker size. Here it's a 35 amp breaker. That's the max size breaker you can have. If you exceed 35 amps, the electrical components inside this unit, they can overheat, like skinny little wires that are maybe only rated for 35, but you put a 60 amp breaker connected to this circuit and it's sending too much current. The key is do not exceed that 35. So let's go look in the main panel and see what we actually got. Because very commonly we will see where it says max 35, but in the main panel we get a 40 or a 50 or any variety of that. Any place where it's too much, it's a problem. Let's go look inside. So now let's look at the main panel and see what size breaker we have installed for this piece of equipment. So if you look on the circuit panel, the one labeled AC is the one that corresponds to that condenser unit outside. So it's the second double breaker up from the bottom, second breaker up from the bottom, and that's a 35 amp breaker. So they did good. We got the right size of amp breaker. You go to your house, check that label on the AC unit outside, come in, look at the panel in the garage or in the laundry room or wherever your main panel might be. Double check that breaker size is not exceeded by this breaker size here in the panel. If it's too big, you need to change out this breaker. It's not a real complicated thing. Swap that out and get a breaker that's no bigger than that maximum specified at the panel or at the equipment. That's another problem. It needs to be fixed if it is oversized, because it will burn up your unit, and your warranty on the equipment may be void, can be void, likely is void. That's all. I'm up here on this narrow little roof section. We're in a high wind zone, and the code requires that the underlayment, which is the material underneath your shingles, the code requires that material in a high wind zone, hurricane prone regions of the United States, Atlantic coast, etc., Gulf Coast, that the underlayment be fastened with nails that have a 1-inch diameter washer on them, and they're spaced 6 inches apart. Just every 6 inches along this bottom edge, you would have nails that frequently spaced. So what I'm finding is about 18, 19 inches apart is how widely spaced these nails are. So I'm gonna bring the camera up here and show you that. Here we are where the blue tape is. Underneath, you can you'll see where there's a button cap fastener or a nail. So now I'm gonna show you that underneath here where the blue tape is, you can see there's a washer up here. See that, guys? And then, it's hard to see, there it is. And then let's look, we're looking, still looking, still looking. Where's the next nail? Where is it? Not seeing it. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. And there you go. You see it right there. So we're looking at 19 inches between one nail and the next. And that is a problem. Code says maximum 6.